listening to Fun Kids, the best radio station ever.
I also love the view coming across Berwick, so that view is beautiful, and sometimes you get to see killer whales.
Hello, my name's Emma-Louise and welcome to LNER Kids Club, your podcast where we explore all about LNER and the amazing train that you're on today. In this podcast, we'll be discovering some spine-tingling things, ghostly sightings, creepy castles, and some of the not-so-nice jobs that children used to do rather than go to school. It's time to step on board a ghost train. Mwah, ha, 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 ha.
And I'm Lauren, your conductor of Creepy Facts today. As well as exploring some of the things that go bump along the East Coast main line, we've also got some spooky games and quizzes, and we'll find out why the Azuma looks as it does.
So zip up your jackets, turn on your torches and jump on board. Let's start with a little bit of time travel back to Victorian times, when the story of the railways began. You might not know it, but the modern railways are 200 years old this year. Many lines were established in the Victorian era, but for all the excitement of this new tech, it was a scary time for lots of kids, some as young as you, who would have had to do some seriously yucky, not to mention dangerous jobs. Jobs like chimney sweeps, quite the opposite of Mary Poppins' cheerful Jack. Victorian chimney sweeps were mostly children, sold into the profession as climbing boys by their poor parents.
And here on the railway, there are some hair-raising jobs too. In Victorian times, young children also worked on the railways with a multiplex of jobs on offer. Engine cleaners were responsible for cleaning and maintaining the locomotives, often working in harsh, dusty, hot and smoky conditions. Some were paid to scavenge for materials like coal or scrap, often working in difficult and dirty conditions. Shed boys were young labourers who entered service around 12 years old. They scrubbed grime till late at night to clean off sooty grime and polish the brass and copper fittings to make the engines shine. And then, up before dawn, knocking on doors to get driver and fireman doors to work, whatever the weather. These jobs were physically demanding, dangerous and often poorly paid. The idea being that they would develop the specialised knowledge of the inner workings of the trains as they completed their tasks.
And as we'll be finding out later, some of the places on the LNER line are as scary as those horrible jobs, with rumours of ghosties and ghoulies.
Well, some bits are scary. There's loads of really cool places too. So if you're en route to Leeds, Edinburgh, Peterborough, don't panic, it'll be fine. But York, wahaha.
So let's get in the mood to go investigating the bumps in the night with a spine-tingling game.
We're calling this one Spooky Spotter. Here's how it works. Make a list of some spooky things to look out for. This could be things like a blackbird, a twisting gnarly tree, a creepy building like an old barn, church or castle, or perhaps a black cat and a misty field. Look out the train window and try to spot your spooky selection. Whoever spots all 5 wins. Bonus points if you spot a ghost. Just kidding. Or are we?
Remember we started by mentioning some slightly spooky destinations on the LNER network? Well, here is a ghostly gathering of the best.
And some really cool places too. York is an amazing place to visit. Its medieval streets are alive with stories of characters from the city's eventful past. Not forgetting the famous Minster and the Shambles, which is believed to inspire Diagon Alley in Harry Potter.
York is said to be the most haunted city in the world, with over 140 ghosts and 504 reports of hauntings. You might meet a headless Earl, Thomas Percy, Earl of Northumberland, who haunts Holy Trinity Church after being executed for treason in 1572. Or hear whispers near the Minster. It could be one of Henry VIII's wives, Catherine Howard, who's said to haunt the eaves. York Minster is the largest Gothic church north of the Alps, 540 feet long, 200 feet tall. Splashed with stained glass and graced with soaring ceilings, this dazzling church brilliantly shows that the High Middle Ages were far from dark. York was founded by the Romans in AD 71, It was their northern headquarters for 300 years. The Vikings later captured the colony and renamed it Jorvik, which gives the city its name. Families can join a ghost tour where guides share York's fascinating legends. And for some very old locomotives and perhaps a train ghost, don't forget to check out the National Railway Museum.
Next on the ghoul list is Edinburgh, Scotland's capital city. Its Royal Mile might be a beautiful World Heritage Site, linking Edinburgh Castle at the top of the hill with the Palace of Holyrood House at the bottom, but lurking below the street is Scotland's spookiest street. Mary King's Close is a maze of underground streets below the city chambers, which were plagued with the Black Death and eventually bricked up in the 18th century. If you want to delve deeper into its horrid history, the popular visitor attraction will uncover all the urban legends on a guided tour.
Newcastle is home to many landmarks. Look out for a glimpse of the Tyne Bridge and the Angel of the North as you approach.
Although watch out, because Newcastle's castle has a 2,000-year-old history, which means you're never far from a spooky story. There have been mass executions of witches, grisly murders, and thousands of gruesome hung, drawn, and quarterings. It's one of the most haunted castles in England, with resident ghosts Poppy the Flower Girl and the vengeful Black Monk. Explore at your own peril. Families can enjoy fun ghost tours through the city's old streets, where legends of friendly spirits are brought to life. Newcastle Cathedral is formerly the Cathedral Church of St Nicholas, the patron saint of a variety of groups including sailors, children, brewers and surgeons. As you leave Newcastle, look left as you do for a view of the 1928 through-arch Tyne Bridge. If there's no fog on the Tyne, it's easy to spot the 1876 Swing Bridge in the foreground, while behind sits the 2001 Millennium Bridge, known locally as the Winking Eye. Oh, and keep an eye out for the Angel of the North as you leave. Again, on the left, but be warned, blink and you'll miss it.
Visiting Lincoln? With its majestic cathedral and medieval castle, Lincoln is a city filled with history and friendly ghostly lore. Families visiting Lincoln Castle might hear stories of past prisoners, while Lincoln Cathedral is home to fun legends about playful spirits who are said to roam the grounds. Families can also join in ghost walks and pumpkin trails, creating an exciting mix of history and light-hearted spooky fun.
And in Leeds, ghost spotters should drift over to the 500-year-old Temple Newsam House. With its turbulent past, it's now home to several ghosts, including young nursemaid Phoebe Gray and the Blue Lady. Thought to be Lady Mary Ingram, who died of delirium after being robbed by a highwayman, the Blue Lady haunts the house, still trying to find her stolen necklace. Beware of mysterious creaky noises, rushes of cold air, and muffled screaming.
Or, if you prefer your ghosts a bit less shouty, Peterborough is a hidden gem for families. Visit the cathedral. It's not only beautiful, but is said to be home to a cheerful ghost who makes appearances during candlelit events. Nothing to fear, just a friendly visitor. The Museum of Peterborough also invites families to explore its halls, where stories of past residents are told. Here are some of the places the onboard crew love seeing when they're en route.
So my name is Suzanne and I'm a customer experience leader. On the route, I love sea houses, the view just after Almouth. It's like Balamory. Really, really pretty. I also love the view coming across Berwick, so not officially leaving Scotland and entering England as everybody thinks, but that view is beautiful, and sometimes you get to see killer whales.
I am Kat Rowley from Newcastle and I am a CEL, which is a customer experience on board. One of the favourite things that I have if I'm coming from London would be the Shard. So you can see the Shard if you look down by the Emirates Stadium, which is Arsenal's football stadium, so you kind of get a 2-in-1 view. So for any football fan, you get the football stadium, and if you look straight down the street, you see the Shard, which for a long time we could actually see being built.
Yes, so I'm Steffi Gillis. I am the Operational Training Delivery Manager, / drivers. So I look after all of the driver training for LNER. Going into Newcastle, you've got the lovely Angel of the North that is really prominent from the window. I think train drivers get the best view of it, but you'd still get a good view of it from outside of the carriages. And then coming into London, you've got the Emirates Stadium, which is quite the thing to see as you're coming into King's Cross. And also coming into London, you've got our Bounds Green Depot, which is basically where trains go to sleep at night, and they do all of the maintenance. So you get to see the trains essentially in a big garage as you're coming into London, which is quite nice.
Poems are a great way to express language and artistry. They also help us explore emotions, express complex ideas, and foster connection both with ourselves and with other people. And we want you to have a go and write a poem about train travel. It could be about the train you're on today.
Or the station you departed from. Funny, thoughtful, wacky, or wild, we want to hear them.
Here's a poem by young train fans Ruben and Ben.
Hi, my name is Ruben and I'm 8 years old and I've got a poem for you I'm going to read to you. In the trains on my seats, feeling hungry so I had some sweets. While I'm in my room I did some cleaning and then I heard boom. I go to the front and saw some coal. Then I go back and see someone roll. I look outside and see a moon. All the way there I listen to the tune.
Hi, my name is Ben and I'm 8 years old and this is my poem. The train goes down the tracks, the engine booms, the seats jump. It's like you're floating in space, like you're jumping on a trampoline. Come on, Eleanor.
Well done, those are really good poems, everyone. So, in this podcast, we've been delving into some tales of the unexpected, from spooky sightings to scary jobs and some not so scary. But there's some totally not scary, in fact, incredible innovations we have to thank the railways for. As part of the celebration for Railway 200, the 200th anniversary of the modern railway, we've been showcasing some of the finest features on the network.
First up, meet Mighty Mallard, the world's fastest steam train ever. Back in 1938, a brilliant blue locomotive named Mallard set a world record by racing along the tracks at an incredible 126 miles per hour, a record for steam locomotives that's still unbeaten. Designed by the legendary Sir Nigel Greasley, Mallard wasn't just fast, it was super stylish. Its sleek, rounded shape was tested in a wind tunnel, just like racing cars and aeroplanes, to help it slice through the air at lightning speed. Greasley also gave it clever features like a specialist exhaust system, which made it even more powerful and efficient. Mallard was part of the A4 class built in the 1930s to power super-fast trains, and it had a famous cousin, the Flying Scotsman. After years of zooming up and down Britain's tracks, Mallard retired in 1963 and now proudly lives at a museum where visitors can admire its shiny blue body and hear the story of the day it became the fastest steam train on Earth. And this might sound incredible, but did you know railways supercharged the news? Before trains came along, getting a newspaper in the countryside meant reading old news, 2 or 3 days old by the time the paper had arrived. That's because slow-moving stagecoaches carried papers at just 15 miles per hour. But when railways arrived in the 1830s, they changed everything. Zooming along tracks across the country, trains helped turn newspapers into speedy messengers of the latest news, weather, sport and stories. Early railway companies like the Liverpool and Manchester Railway signed deals to carry papers, and smart businesses like W.H. Smith began opening newsstands at stations, delivering fresh news to hungry readers all over Britain. Between 1820 and 1850, newspaper sales rocketed by over 400%, and railways played a starring role in helping improve levels of literacy across the country, providing the masses with affordable daily reading material.
So, we've been keeping our eyes out for interesting things on the route today, and some of it has been pretty spooky. However, there are lots of people who make sure train travel is really safe, not only on the train, but on the platform too. One of them is Tony, who works for the British Transport Police. Our young rail enthusiast caught up with him and asked him some questions.
My name is PC Morton. First name Tony, I like to be called Tony. Okay, I'm a police officer with British Transport Police, and I'm based here at York Railway Station. How cool is that?
My name is Alexander. How many trains come here every day?
How many trains come through here every day? Oh, I couldn't tell exactly the number, but there's lots. Probably, on my shift pattern now, I do a shift, sometimes 9-10 hours a day. And in that period of time, I would say probably 70 plus, easy.
And how many people get a ticket penalty every day? So if people don't have a ticket for a train ride?
Yeah, what happens, Alex, sometimes if a train guard or train manager who do the checks on tickets come across people who do not have a ticket, and they will ask them some questions, and if they become rude or do not provide the details that they're asking, they contact the police, the British Transport Police.
Yeah.
And then they'll say, right, our train's going to arrive at York in 10 minutes on platform 6. Can we have a police officer there? And guess what? We go there and meet the train. And then the person who does not have a ticket has a choice, either buy a ticket, be nice to the train guard, buy a ticket, or we will take them into our office, and then we will refuse them travel as well for the rest of the day.
Hi, my name is Ben, and I've got a few questions for you.
Hello, Ben.
What's the worst part of your job?
Working in the cold weather. The best part is meeting people like you. Lots and lots of people from all over the world come through this station at York. And I really enjoy meeting everybody. And I see film stars. I've had 007 come through here. How good is that? So, yeah, it's great here at York. It is really good.
In case you didn't know, Azuma is the name of the high-speed train you're travelling on today. And now it's time to test your train-tastic knowledge with these fun questions about the sensational speedy Azuma fleet, LNER's iconic super trains. So, here's today's quick question. Azumas were inspired by the Japanese bullet trains. What special shape do they have that helps them go super fast? Is it A, cube-shaped front, B, a smiling face, C, a bullet-shaped nose, or D, wings?
I think it is C, a bullet-shaped nose. Their aerodynamic design helps them whiz along the track smoothly, just like the bullet trains in Japan.
Well, brave listener, that's the end of our haunted journey. Whether it's ghostly goings-on or scary old jobs, remember the railway is full of history and mystery. Thanks for joining us on this frightfully fun ride. Stay on track and join us again soon for another LNER Kids Club podcast. See you again soon.